What's up, guys? This is episode 39 of the CLG Faithful podcast. How you all doing?
Yeah. Episode 39, man. It just every week it seems to be, the number grows by one.
I hope it's growing.
I hope so.
I hope it's not shrinking.
Yeah, me too. It's like, oh, hey guys, next week it'll be, this is episode 34. It's like, wait a minute. Do we miss one? Do we go back in time? Are we like 6 weeks behind?
All right. We actually have some pretty sad news to start things off today.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us what happened?
Well, I was perusing Twitter before we started recording this, and lo and behold, at the top of my Twitter page is goodbye NAKAT. NAKAT. And I was like, sorry, what? And I clicked on the link from the CLG Twitter account, and yeah, so they released the statement at 4:25 p.m. at PST today, the day after TwitchCon, which he was at. I wasn't sure. I tried to find him there because I was at TwitchCon, but I didn't find NAKAT at TwitchCon. I didn't try my hardest to find him, but I swung by the CLG booth many times, said hi to peeps, but unfortunately didn't find NAKAT. So it's kind of sad because that was probably one of the last times I was going to get to meet the guy. But yeah, so it turns out CLG released NAKAT, sorry, I keep saying his name wrong. NAKAT for not performing at a top level while they need to keep their standards up. And I heard a little bit of a chuckle there, I think, from Nefarious. Yeah. So that was a bit of a surprise. I don't know anyone else listening thinks that's a surprise. Leave us a comment or something like that in the YouTube or SoundCloud if you have it, or on the subreddit. Because that was a huge surprise to me. I know NAKAT had been struggling a little bit in terms of placing in like top 8 or even top 12 or 16 in Wii U, but I didn't think, with how other things are going, that they would start releasing players for not being at the peak of their performance. That was surprising to me. What about you?
Hey now. We picked up a win this week, okay? They picked up a win against Tempo Storm.
They did. Yes.
We'll get to that. How was TwitchCon, man?
TwitchCon was awesome. I actually got to meet the entire CLG League of Legends team. I got to meet in person with Stixay. Oh my god, it's actually like a really cool guy in person, not gonna lie. He had a huge smile on his face the entire time at the meetup table. I got to meet Huhi, Afromu, of course, and Darshan. I got an awesome picture with Darshan and Huhi and Afromu. Oh no, sorry, with Afromu and Huhi. They hugged and grabbed me and got me into the picture too. So it was kind of sweet. Like, I took a selfie with all of them, obviously, but
yeah, I see your selfies you put up on Twitter. Those are pretty cool.
It was pretty sweet. I got to meet up with them. I gotta say, Huhi's English is friggin' phenomenal. I was blown away. I was like, wow, he almost has no Korean accent talking in English.
Did you ask Omar who's the new jungler for CLG next split?
No, I did not. I told him that I support him.
Or did you ask Afro who we're replacing him with? That's what the sub wants.
He did mention, when I mentioned the CLG subreddit, he kind of winced a little bit. I also got to meet Zeekslaw, which was pretty cool. He's a great guy, a little awkward around people, but he's got a good smile, and he appreciated the nice comments, and it was great to meet those guys.
Did you ask him who our new jungler is, and how good he is at playing Gragas?
Nope, I didn't do that. I wasn't gonna be that mean. But I also had they had a new shirt out, the hashtag CLG Fighting shirt, and I picked one of those up. Yeah, they are really nice.
It's the same design as the mouse pad, isn't it?
Yeah, so now I have a matching shirt for my mouse pad, but the shirt has the entire League of Legends roster signatures, including Zeke's Law. he clearly was not expecting, I think, to get asked for a signature. He was like, "Oh, yeah, sure, I'll sign it. All right."
Did you get to meet anyone else? Hotshot or
no,
else?
I don't think Hotshot was there. I tried to track down Devin Nash. Some people know him as Malixia. I tried to track him down, couldn't find him. I think there was a few other guys there. The H1Z1 team was at TwitchCon, but they seemed to be pretty busy and
they were in tournament.
To playing in the tournament there as well. I tried to hunt NAKAT down, or NAKAT, but unfortunately couldn't do that either. So yeah.
All right. Yeah, sounds like you had a grand old time.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Super jealous.
Mm-hmm. You better be, because it was goddamn expensive.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
So I guess just to give a little bit of League of Legends news, for those that if you've been living under a rock, Worlds has been happening.
Yeah.
NA sucks. Nothing new here.
Nope.
But all 10 teams are now locked in for NALCS.
And is this confirmed now, or is this still ESPN rumors?
Still ESPN.
He's still ESPN. Okay. But I mean, no one has come out and outwardly said that that's a lie. As well, Lyra has also put out his email address looking for a new team because he's not sure what NVS is going to be doing next year.
He actually deleted that. But
he did. I don't doubt. But that's pretty much like telling you right there that he probably knows that MVS is gone and wants to get prepared for that as soon as possible.
Yep. So to give the 10 teams that are in, it is going to include the classics that you know of: CLG, TSM, Cloud9, Team Liquid.
Yep.
Those 4 we know. Also returning is Echo Fox.
Yeah.
And there's FlyQuest.
Oh, really? FlyQuest. Wow.
Yeah, the surprising one.
Everyone had them forgone. Like they're like, no one. FlyQuest is not coming back.
Right. FlyQuest is the one that is out in. Now, leaving the scene was actually Immortals.
Mm-hmm.
I won't say leaving. They got kicked.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or didn't get their application accepted. Immortals is out. Phoenix 1 is out. Who else? NB, thank you.
Yeah.
NB is out. So those 3 teams are out. And the new ones that are coming in are going to be some organization. These are just organizations, but the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Houston Rockets, and someone who is at least the co-owner of the Golden State Warriors. Not the one that is part of the investment group Axiomatic that has investment in Team Liquid, but a different one.
A different one.
Right. So it's just more general news. There's a lot of investments going around, a lot of big things. The Yankees are investing in Echo Fox. So.
Yeah. Oh, really? The Yankees are?
Yeah, we're basically NBA LCS now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
So, the players are going to walk onto the stage in like super baller shoes, and they're just going to be, that's going to be it. They're going to try and sell the Korean shoes.
Korean shoes?
Dude.
Even the Korean shoes are better.
No. The Koreans, man, they love their shoes right now. Like their sneakers, huge. I mean, it's pretty huge in North America too. It's like $1 billion market. So
oh yeah,
it's not something that I mean, that's what NBA players always are hawking, right? Like
I forgot Dignitas.
Oh, Dignitas
But then again, so did Riot.
That was a good joke. All right, should we just move on to CSGO?
Well, let's just give a welcome to any new CLG fans.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a former Immortals fan or Dignitas fan.
We welcome you with open arms. We feel you. We feel you. We feel the pain that you felt for your team the same way we have felt from over the years. So, group hug.
Yeah, welcome to the CLG sub. If you actually look, there is a post by the well-known memer of Dignitas. He joined. There was a lot of people talking about why you should join CLG, why we're the best.
Yeah, we are the best.
I gave a quick breakdown of what you can actually expect next split for League. Do you want me to go over it real quick?
So what you should expect next year for League? So see your
Yes.
doctor about heart attack medicine?
That was one of them, but just
Okay.
in general, what you can expect from our CLG team and how they're going to play. So yeah, you have the classics. You've got the Darshan split push special.
Yep.
For those that don't know, it's just where you pick Fiora,
Yep.
split push for 45 minutes, backdoor and win.
Exactly.
We've got Star-Lord.
Ooh.
Always classic Star-Lord. Someone will leave him up and be like, oh, I guess he's still really good at Ralliant Soul. Who knew? Who knew?
Who knew? Who knew, right? Who would have thought?
Tony's Bay, Gragas.
Yes. Can't go without Gragas.
Our bot lane just randomly feeding their ass off and dying.
Oh yeah. That's always fun too.
It's been a staple now for a while.
It is kind of a staple, you are correct.
Our jungler randomly putting a Svenskeren and dying.
Yeah, yep.
It's been a staple now for about a year, unfortunately. Big Dixie.
Big Dick say, hey, that's a positive to me.
Our jungler randomly stealing a major objective, single-handedly turning the game around.
That's
It
our
happens-
junglers.
It happens more than it should.
It does. It's that's because we're behind more than we should be.
Support so easy.
Support so easy, yep. That's
After me with the hard carry.
I mean, if you look at it right now, I mean, Aframu brought this upon himself. Last Worlds, he was like, ha ha ha, support's so easy with ranged supports.
You mean MSI?
Or MSI, yeah. And, so now we have Janna plus Ardent Sensor.
As an AD carry main, I'm okay with that. But, who he hard carrying and then overreaching for a play, dying and throwing the game.
Mm-hmm.
Also happens more than it should.
Yep.
One person getting picked off and dying, followed by everyone else slowly coming to that same spot, getting picked off, dying. We get ace for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's bad memories there.
Some bad memories, that's for sure.
And of course, Tony's going to leave up some meta and OP picks and try to play around it. We'll lose.
Yep. Okay.
And then he'll do it again.
Oh, damn, that's the connector right there.
You know it happens.
Oh, it does.
And then, the CSGO boys, they'll break your heart when they're playing online. If they're on land, you can have a small glimmer of hope for a brief moment.
Yeah.
And, speaking of CSGO, how did they do against Optic?
Well, talking about CSGO, they played against Optic, yes, in the ESL Pro League Season 6. In Game 1, they played on Train, which is generally a good thing for CLG. The Train and CLG have always been good together. And in the end, things ended up working out pretty well. Because we're on Train. It started off to look bad, though, with Optic taking the first pistol round. However, CLG then won the next round and snowballed a 5-win roll. By half, CLG was down 6-9, though. So, Optic then didn't let up and won the first 5 rounds of second half. CLG won the next 3, then lost a timeout just before we swept them to close it out. CLG taking Train 16-14. And let's move on to DreamHack Denver.
What about Game 2?
There wasn't a Game 2. That didn't happen. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What about this link on HLTV?
No, that doesn't exist.
Fake news?
It's fake news, yeah. Donald Trump fake news.
Alright. Let's move on to DreamHack Denver. Alright, so the boys started off against Renegades in the opening match for Group A. CLG starts things off strong with 3 quick rounds before Renegades manages to strike back with 2 for themselves. Then, moving on into round 5, CLG managed to plant the bomb and pick up the round. And, unfortunately for that, it was the last round that they get before the half, as Renegades proceeds to just clean sweep them up until then. CLG starts off the second half rather strong, with picking up a string of victories here and there, while Renegade managed to pick up just the odd win every now and then. Unfortunately, when it comes down to it, Renegades were just a little bit more clutch, and they managed to pick up the last 2 in a row to win the round 16-14.
Right on. So that means that CLG has to play a decider match on day 2 against Tempo Storm, and in which case they have to beat Tempo Storm, and then they would go on to play against Renegades yet again.
And if they lose any of them, they are out.
Yes. So up against Tempo Storm on day 2 in game 1, in namesake, in a bout of counter logic, CLG picked Inferno for game 1. So everyone knows CSGO, CLG, and Inferno is like, why do they leave it up? Why don't they ban this map? They picked this map. CLG, picked Inferno. Maybe, if in some weird world, if they pick it, they don't lose at it. Because that's actually what happened. It started off rough. We went 0-5, but off a bomb defuse, they got a 6-round snowball. 6-round snowball off that bomb defuse, followed by only dropping one more round that half. In the second half, the team seemed to trade wins basically in groups of 3, with CLG coming out on top. Us winning in Inferno 16-13. Yeah, that's right. CLG won a game on Inferno because they picked it. That's some counter logic right there. But yes, we won. So we'll move on to game 2, which was Cobblestone. CLG took the first few rounds here, then lost round 4 and the next 5 rounds after that. A bit back and forth until half, ending up with it going 7-8 in favor of Tempo Storm. Second half was basically the same thing, with Tempo Storm taking the win 16-13. Game 3, however, was Train. And, well, CLG ran a train on Tempo Storm, crushing Tempo Storm 16-4. This means that we move on to face Renegades.
So, against Renegades, this is the decider match for Group A. Mm-hmm. They start things off pretty poorly. Renegades takes the early game lead, going up 5 rounds on CLG. Then CLG managed to take 3 off of them. From there, pretty even back and forth, and ultimately going 8-7 in favor of Renegades. After the half, CLG takes a pretty commanding start, going up 12-8 before Renegades managed to take the round win. However, one more win by CLG, Renegades had taken enough, and they actually stomped back to take the win 16-13. Mm-hmm. So then we move on to Cobblestone, and things start to look pretty damn scary. Renegades starts things off by taking 9 rounds in the first half. However, that T-sided Cobble really shone through for CLG, with the second half going 10-1 in their favor, with CLG ultimately winning it up 16-10. Then, Game 3, Inferno. Not picked by CLG.
Not picked, that's correct. That is a key thing there. Not picked by CLG.
So it actually wasn't a complete blowout. They took a 9-6 half, which it starts off pretty promising, but don't forget this is CLG on Inferno. Can't go away from that route. Second half, RNG really powered through hard. They only dropping 2 rounds and they pick up the win, 16-11. And unfortunately, this eliminates CLG from DreamHack Denver.
Yeah. So after the relatively depressing news of NAKAT leaving CLG, how did our boy SFAT do in Melee?
Yeah,
because he was also there for DreamHack.
Right, he too was at DreamHack Denver, and he starts off in his pools against Alvinator. I wrote Cyan, it's Siren, Zealot, and Patcake, and he absolutely smashed his pools 2-0, every one of them. Nice. Coming out, he faces Bobby Frizz, and he gets that 2-0, and like, what do you mean? This is not pools anymore? I guess I'll pick up another win. Wins that 3-0. Then he moves into the winners semifinals, and he goes up against Zane. And If you've heard of Zane recently, he's actually been making some pretty big splashes this year. In particular, he had one notable victory against Leffen at Smash and Splash 3 this year, and the Marthman is ultimately able to take a game off of SFAT, but SFAT decides, you know what, I'm going to take the set. You can have one game, I'll take one set. 3-1. Then, SFAT goes up against Axe. Now, this is one super close series. Super close set, I should say. It goes back and forth, but ultimately SFAT does fall to him 2-3, and this puts him at 5th place in the tournament.
Nice.
Yeah, overall, not a bad showing from the tournament, especially when you look at who else was in the top 4 with Hungry Box, Mango, Axe, and who was the last one? Do you remember?
Not off the top of my head, no.
It's another big name.
In top 8, it would have been S2J.
Okay.
S2J was in there. Yeah, he's tough. I mean, there was also the doubles as well. SFAT played in doubles. Unfortunately, not with Pew Pew U, though.
Yeah.
He played with his NorCal homie, NMW. To start it off, they, like you did in singles, they smashed the living crap out of their pools. They beat down Blandeezy and LV9G 2-0. They also 2-0'd Steven Jobs and 30 Cent Noodles, as well as Reish and Green Walk. The first real kind of game drop came to Mijo and Uncle Mojo in the winners quarterfinals, top 12. They went 2-1 there. And then they also 2-0'd Cyrox and Westballs, who were considered some of their hardest competition leading up to the top 2 players, like the grand finals. And into the winners finals they went, facing off against Hungry Box and Chudat, who they actually beat 3-2, which is fantastic because Hungry Box and Chudat is probably one of SFAT's hardest competitions, because SFAT lately especially has been struggling against Hungry Box, and Chudat has also been giving him a lot of issue. So that sends Hungry Box and Chudat down to the losers bracket to face off against whoever, I think it was Cyrox and Westballs. And guess who comes right back up for the grand finals? Hungry Box and Chudat. Unfortunately for this first round, Hungry Box and Chudat do end up taking it 2-3 over SFAT and NMW. But because it was the grand finals and SFAT and NMW were in the winner's side, they had to be beaten twice. And that did happen. In the second set, Hungry Box and Chudat did 3-0 SFAT and NMW and take the win. That means that SFAT and NMW finished in second place in Melee doubles at DreamHack Denver. Pretty good showing by the boys, especially considering, like SFAT's kind of had a few different partners the last few last few events he's played at. I'm not really sure where Pew Pew U is right now, so hopefully he shows back up so that the Pew Fat can start getting back to kicking that fat ass. I was trying to find a rhyme there, and that's all I came up with. I'd be a real gangsta.
All right. So, moving on to Overwatch. It's dead.
Yeah.
H1Z1's where it at, though.
Yeah.
So
there was some pretty crazy H1Z1 going on at TwitchCon this weekend. There was a lot of H1Z1 at TwitchCon, man. It was intense. They took up probably a fifth.
No, I'm going to keep pouring salt on that Overwatch wound every week as much as I can.
Until something happens, Nefarious is just going to pour salt on that every time.
Or until I can't think of anything else snarky to say.
So yeah, they did play at the TwitchCon event, and the arena there was pretty massive. It took up probably a fifth of the expo hall floor. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. And there was a lot of H1Z1 devs and community guys and players there. It was intense. Yeah. Unfortunately, though, this wasn't a team tournament, so it was actually 75 man, one for all, basically. So everyone was competing against each other, and there was 3 total games played, and our guys played in all 3. So in game 1, Flamehopper had actually a pretty rough time. He went out 73rd, so that means he was like the second person to die, with 26,220 points, no kills. CLG died next at 55th with 35,390 points, 1 kill. Grimmy Bear was next CLG boy to drop at 21st, so a good bump up with 63,170 points, 1 kill. The FBS did the best, placing 14th in Game 1 with 76,870 points and 3 kills. Game 2 was a rough one, though, with Grimmy Bear going out at 67th at 31,880 points, 0 kills. Flamehopper going down next at 49th with 37,730 points, 0 kills. The FPS was third to drop at 34th with 48,270 points, 0 kills. And CLG was the last to drop, going down 28th with 54,870 points and 1 kill. Game 3, though, seemed like the boys were taking a lot of risks here, with Grimmy going down at 66th place with 29,130 points, 0 kills. CLG shortly after at 61st with 31,410 points, 0 kills. Flamehopper made it a bit further with 41st place, 42,870 points, 0 kills. The FPS, though, had his amazingly best showing, taking third place in Game 3 with 120,310 points and 2 kills. Tallied all up, CLG had 121,670 points, 2 kills. Flamehopper had 106,820 points, 0 kills. Grimmy Bear had 124,180 points, 1 kill. And DFBS actually finished in 8th place with 245,450 points, 5 kills, and got to take home 5,000 of that $80,000 jackpot. So not really an expected outcome of our boys, especially considering the last time they played together, they got first place at the event. But it's nice to see them playing at a competitive level again, and someone finishing in a top 10. That was pretty thing. One good thing from this was Daybreak, the creators of H1Z1, have actually announced an H1Z1 league. So hopefully CLG will get in on that, and our boys can stomp it, and it won't turn into Overwatch League. There's my little bit of salt in the Overwatch League right there.
So, I did read an interesting article by the Esports Observer talking about esports game tiers.
Yep.
And they have their criteria for what they defined as different tiers. Essentially, it comes down to the prize pool, the hours watched, and essentially the fan following.
Okay.
And it's not a perfect methodology, but they put League, Dota, CSGO, and interesting enough, even Hearthstone as a tier 1 esport.
I mean, I could see Hearthstone. There's a lot of people and some pretty big Hearthstone streamers as well.
Yeah. I mean, that you've got more so the general following and the, tons of viewing hours. Not so much price pool.
Yeah, I mean, at the same point too, right? Like Hearthstone is free to play, so it's an easy form of entry. It's where it costs $1,000 to make a meta deck. That's where it kind of gets expensive.
Wait, it really costs that much now?
Yeah, on average, unless you get like stupidly lucky and get all your pulls, it costs about $1,000 to make a deck in meta right now.
So, okay.
If you're a brand new player.
Yeah. So for tier 2, they put Here's the Storm, Overwatch, Smite, World of Tanks, Halo, StarCraft 2, and Call of Duty. And then in tier 3, they put Smash, Vainglory, FIFA 17, whatever's the latest FIFA, I guess, yeah. Crossfire, Point Blank, and Rocket League.
What is Crossfire?
I have no clue.
It's probably like a CSGO ripoff or something. It kind of sucks to see that they put Smash so far down, but the way to get into playing Smash and to be able to be competing at a top level is harsh.
Well, part of it is so Smash is popular in the US, but not as much in Europe. So a lot of it is also a bit of regional popularity.
Mm-hmm.
And the relative prize money for Smash is significantly lower as compared to that of, say, Dota or League or even CSGO.
Yeah.
So,
That's very true. That's very true.
again, it's not a perfect criteria. It depends how you define your criteria to be. Overwatch hasn't really started yet, but it's huge in Asia.
Yeah.
Which is one of the big criteria. If you're looking at regional popularity as well, if you can get the Asian market, specifically China, Korea, all that, you'll get a ton of viewership.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which translates to ad revenue and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I just thought of that when you brought up the H1Z1.
So where did they have H1Z1? Second tier?
It's not in this list, actually.
Not in the list, I see. Well, I mean, there hasn't really been a whole lot of esports going for it.
I should be clear. This list was created at the January of this year. So.
Oh, okay.
Beginning of the year.
The beginning of the year. So, like, even at that point, we didn't have, like, PUBG or anything like that. So, H1Z1 was around, but it wasn't really being taken seriously because there wasn't a game that really had come out at the time to define the genre.
And it takes time to go up and go down and so on, right?
Very true. Very true. Yeah.
No. I just thought that would be kind of interesting to bring up.
That's kind of nice to talk about. Yeah, guys. Geez, I think that's it. Hey.
I think that's all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna post some pictures of the CLG boys with the video that I took. As well, I ran into a CLG fan there, repping the CLG jersey at TwitchCon. So got a picture with him as well. Always nice to see. There was a few other ones, but they, I'm not gonna run up across the hallway to someone who's talking to someone and be like, "Yo, buddy, with a CLG jersey, can I get a photo with you?" No, I'm not gonna be that kind of guy. So, but yeah, it was a good time. We'll post those pictures in the video.
Yep. All right, then. I think that's all we got for this week. So thanks, everyone, for listening. This has been the CLG Faithful Podcast. We're a weekly podcast that goes over all things CLG. If you like what we do, take a few minutes to follow on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube. You know the usual.
Yeah. I'm Artrin.
And I'm Nefarious.
Peace out, people.
See ya.